Good afternoon, South Africa, and a warm welcome to Afternoon Express. We hope your day has been absolutely fantastic. Can you believe that it's halfway through the week already, 3 days in, and we've got 3 live performances to celebrate by 3 incredibly talented young artists. You're in for such a treat. ByLwanstar is one of the rising stars in the hip-hop scene from KZN, and he's also a visual artist as well. We'll be learning how he navigates between mediums. Then we meet Wafika Artemis Twisha, the adorable and talented 9-year-old daughter of experimental musician Moonchild Sanelli, who is about to release her debut EP. She is the coolest kid I think I've ever met in my life, and I can't wait for you guys to meet her right here on our Afternoon Express couch. We also have South Africa's top breakdancer, BBoy Meaty, in the loft, and soon he'll be heading off to represent SA in the World Finals in Europe. It's going to be epic. Plus, in the kitchen, we've got 2 awesome recipes lined up. For a healthy breakfast option, we're making overnight oats, and for dinner, it's short ribs slow roasted in a spicy tomato sauce. How yum does that sound? We're about to obviously make your Wednesday a whole lot better, however. The Rhodes Quality Competition is finally here, and you stand the chance to win one of 6 5,000 Rand weekly prizes and a chance at that 100,000 Rand grand prize. Sound cool? All you have to do is share a picture and recipe of your Rhodes Quality winter dish with the hashtag For the Love of Winter on the Rhodes Quality Facebook or Instagram page. Entries are open until the 16th of August, and then after that, celebrity chef Zola Nene will pick the 2 winning entries who will battle it out for that grand prize of 100,000 Rand. Don't forget, T's and C's apply. You can visit rhodesquality.com to find out all of those details. And having been introduced to the hip-hop scene at the age of 8, it's time to introduce you to our first guest. Wandile has come a long way from recording music in the back room of his mother's house. He has a fully fledged graphic design sort of qualification and has established his own creative brand called Normal, gracing magazine covers and traveling abroad with his music under the name ByLwantsa.
Whatever I like, cause everybody's right, this isn't my fucking life, man. You should try and rap like this guy. You absolutely right. Man, that song will never work, bro. You absolutely right. This is why they never play you. You absolutely right. Just make music for the people, bro. You absolutely right. You should try and rap like this guy. You absolutely right. Man, that song will never work, bro. You absolutely right. This is why they never play you. You absolutely right. Just make music for the people, bro. You absolutely right. Sometimes it does feel like a waste of my time, like when I get to a show and I'm performing at 9, although it started at 8, and not to mention I was almost bounced by the guy at the gate. Oh, this is great, not forgetting all these people in my ear busy telling me what you rap about. Come on, Bronson, don't even think about it as selling out. Change your bloody sound, look at every artist that's popping now. That's my fucking...
ByLwantsa, welcome to Afternoon Express. First time this is playing on TV.
Yeah, actually, yeah, this is true. Thank you, shout out to you guys.
Good to have you. It's so good to meet smart, young, talented musos. We're celebrating the centenary of Tata Madiba, and we are talking about that legacy. You are just walking in such a good line, my friend.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very like generous way to put it. You know, because often you're running, more than walking, but I don't know.
You're doing a good thing, man. How does a kid from Kokstad, sort of that whole experience become such a journey to the space that you're in now?
I think it started off with just me being curious. You know, just in general, like my nature, I've always been curious. I've always been questioning a lot, not necessarily in a very extreme way, but I was always like curious, researching why, asking why. And the internet kind of, because it makes the world smaller, you have access to all sorts of platforms and knowledge. So I was always curious, and I found myself curious on the internet often, a lot of the time. So, I think from Kokstad, Kokstad is just like one part of the world, but because the internet makes everything so small, I could go to Taiwan, like just...
almost in a day, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Get there instantly. And then just sort of the way that you got into producing music and behind the sort of rap space was you were collaborating with your brother, Shame, and you got to get your friends over together and you guys would produce beats, and then, it kind of got to that point where you're like, I wanted to continue, because your brother left, right?
Yeah, he left. He left for college in 2012, actually 2013, so the studio equipment was, actually the studio initiative was his initially, so a lot of the stuff that we were recording with was kind of like paid for by him. So when he left, he was like, okay, cool, so...
now what?
What now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I think because I had a taste of writing music and recording music, because I wasn't able to record music because, the stuff was gone, I was able to nurture my writing as well. So literally the ByLwanstar from maybe 5 years ago, 2 years ago, is not like this. Actually, it wasn't even ByLwanstar 5 years ago.
It was then Lwanstar.
It was just Lwanstar.
The ByLwanstar name is actually quite an interesting thing, because obviously this whole nature of artists moving towards the independent space in the world. ByLwanstar, obviously, I'm guessing has got something to do with the fact that everything that you do is by you.
Yeah, and it's always been there, actually, before, because I officiated it in 2015. right? But it's always been there because, I mean, a lot of the time I was designing my own cover art. I was directing my own videos. So that By was always there, directed by ByLwanstar. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, might as well just put them together. You know, so it just became like something that represents, first of all, my approach to music with like, you know, having visual communication, graphic design in the back as a frame of reference and etc. So what graphic design did, it kind of gave me a new perspective, got me behind the scenes a lot more of not just the music itself, you know, because like obviously music is the sonic component and then which stimulates the ears. And then cover art and visuals obviously stimulate the eye. So those are two senses. And you think, okay, cool, by default, these two look like they have a great relationship. So when I was asked by my lecturer who called me, I had released a mixtape, right, in 2014. And then the marks kind of, you know, took a little bit of a dip. I was a bit ambitious, you know, so...
You were rapping too much?
I was rapping way too much, you know what I mean? So when the mixtape dropped, I had packaged it in my room. I was spending a lot of time doing that. My lecturer called me outside and I was like, listen, I'm not going to tell you to stop making music. Marry the two. You know, and since then, it's been like a great marriage.
And it's unique. I mean, no one else is doing it. I don't know of any other sort of artists like yourself who are doing those two sort of collaborations together.
Yeah.
Why is it that Europe has picked up your music faster than South Africa is if you're this talented?
I wish I knew. I wish they knew as well. But I think more than anything, it was like when I was in Europe, you know, there weren't any expectations of me, first of all. Me being a black South African, a closer guy, there wasn't, because in Europe, I'm just a person, you know. I might maybe just be a black person, but like, I mean, I'm a person. There's no other like predetermined ideas, especially with my music. So they were all surprised, they didn't know what to expect. So I think I came at a different angle because of that, being curious as well, because I can't be curious as everything is like placed in front of me all the time. So when I'm curious, I'm asking questions, where I found myself finding platforms that aren't obviously in everybody's radar. You know, so I think, I don't know. I think,
why it's a difficult question for me is because I'm disappointed, obviously, that South Africans haven't picked up this kind of sound, because anything that's slightly different or doesn't fit into the mold of commercial radio is kind of like, we're not going to spend the money on it. And it's disappointing, because you're incredibly talented, you write really good lyrics, and I think you are being celebrated internationally before here, which obviously leads artists to go like, well, I'm more interested to go where I'm going to be celebrated.
I like him a lot. Sorry. Yeah, but you know, that's true. I think it's what it is. It's, because I'm going down conventional route, and because of the internet, literally the internet, like, doesn't necessarily not have gatekeepers, but there's not as many gatekeepers on the internet. Like, you don't have to, like, stand in a queue or get YouTube to tell you, okay, cool, your video's gonna play. Literally, as soon as it's done uploading, once you've used the neighbor's Wi-Fi, done. You know, there you go, your video, you've got content up.
Neighbor's
and,
Wi-Fi.
You know, so I think my access, my entry to, like, those platforms in Europe was just through the internet, you know what I mean?
And talk me through the actual writing style, because obviously I'm really interested in poetry. Rhythm and poetry, rap are the two things that come together. I feel a lot of artists that are kind of breaking into the hip-hop scene have kind of missed that poetry side of it, because poetry really requires somebody to sit down and think.
I think for me, what it is, my delivery, first of all, is like very conversational. Like literally, the only thing that's missing now that's going to make this a rap is a microphone. You know, so even when I perform, I like intimate
Your rhymes aren't
crowds.
that great in this conversation, but yeah, we'll work on it.
Okay, cool. So you know what it is? It's just like a conversational approach to it, like like literally in conversation. And where it becomes poetry is obviously when you have, like, literally we did poetry in high school, and only in 2014 that I realized, oh snap, this thing is already ingrained in me. So it's okay. I naturally had that. Okay, I'd have to think about, you know, like it was very conversation. Even the way like I'd write. Like very often for a lot of my recent projects, I wouldn't really write on paper. I wouldn't freestyle either. But what I would do, I'd maybe be on my way to buy a loaf of bread. I'd be going to campus and I'd just be coming up with something. It was a very lengthy process because, for example, if I was I'd try to memorize it first of all. So I don't record until I know something off by heart, so I can focus more on the delivery than just trying to remember words. So by the time I've written this verse, that's probably taking me a month because
So you're spending a lot of time, in fact, actually putting together the rhymes, the lyrics, all that kind of stuff, which requires thought, and it's telling a real story. So speaking of those, what song are you performing on the show today? What story does that one tell?
I've got a song called Funny How that I'm performing later with the band, Normally Busy. This song, it basically reflects on my journey from Kokstad to Durban. So it's like, okay, cool. When I was back in Kokstad, I was living under my mother's roof. Hi, Mom. She's watching right there. Living under my mother's roof, we moved to Durban. Well, I moved to Durban, and that was almost like I was thrown in the jungle because it was my first time living away from home. And I mean, I lived with 9 other guys, you know, it was a commune situation, but then, I don't know, I felt lonely still, you know, so it's like, okay, you know, so that song itself kind of summarized like that whole journey, you know, like, hey, Lwanster was just a kid, you know, now he's that guy, because people, it was like, oh, Mom, I'm going to ByLwanstar's house. Okay, cool, say hi to his mother. They're going somewhere else. But because they use me as a reference, it's like, cool. But then, you know, they never would really come to...
Don't say anymore. The story must come out in the rap. We want to be able to hear a little bit later on. ByLwantsa is going to be joining us on the show today, a little bit later on with that live performance, so stay tuned for that. We're celebrating young South Africans on the show today, so we'd love for you to head over to our social platforms and let us know, perhaps, do you have a little one in your life that has any talents? Please share them with us at Afternoon Chat. You can use that hashtag Afternoon Express, or you can comment on our Facebook page. Now, after the break, it's all about our pets as we look at the importance of looking after your dog's dental health. Plus, Chef Clem shows us a quick and easy breakfast meal that you can make the night before.
Meet the remaining finalists on Presenter Search on 3. From Johannesburg, Shannon Leibach is a drama student at Wits University and part-time scuba diver.
My name is Shannon Leibach and I am an actor. I decided to be an actor because I love to entertain people. Because I'm so sexy. The dimple, I have a dimple. No, much more better. It is a drawing of a key. I love Disney. I can see what's happening. What? And they don't have a clue. Who? They'll fall in love, and here's the bottom line. Our trio's down to 2. Can you feel the love tonight? I want to be a TV presenter because it turns acting on its head. Acting is all about being someone else. TV presenting is about being yourself. The moment that Jeannie D saw a shark, did she not, her regulator come out of her mouth, and she was dying until your boy Shan pulled through with my Octo, gave it to her, and saved the day. The type of TV presenter that I want to be is loud, exciting, but also can have a conversation with anyone from all over the world. I'm eccentric, but I'm humble. So those two combined is very interesting. This is me, diving into the top 10. Watch it, here we go. Woo!
Catch Presenter Search on 3, Thursday nights at 8:30, and watch the top 10 compete to become one of 3 new presenters on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Well, welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3. I should say welcome Baxter to Afternoon Express. You're live on SABC3. Dental health is something that is very often overlooked when it comes to our other furry friends other than cats.
Just like us, dogs can develop problems like gum disease, and without being able to tell you that they're in pain, it's a good idea to prevent it before it happens. Ashley Sanderson from Mars Africa is in studio to tell us more about four-legged friends' dental health. Welcome to the loft again. Lovely to have you with us.
Thanks.
So a lot of people overlook dental care when it comes to their pets. Why? What are some of the misconceptions?
So I think the big one, and probably the most obvious, is that people tend to think that bad breath is normal in dogs when it really isn't. This is often a sign of underlying gum disease. Another one is that we need to be mindful of the fact that dogs' teeth, the enamel on their teeth is far thinner than what ours is. So it needs to be cared for, if not more than what we do ourselves.
And obviously pets are typically not able to tell you when they're in pain or when they feel like something's wrong, but what are some of the symptoms that dog owners can look out for?
So sadly, 4 out of 5 dogs over the age of 3 tend to suffer from gum disease. And because they hide their pain so well, the owners generally don't know that they're struggling. So some of the big things, and probably the most obvious, would be the bad breath. Another thing to look for is red or inflamed bleeding gums, and also just to monitor their eating behavior, because sometimes if they change to their preference to more softer foods, this could mean that something's really bothering them in their mouths.
And do you find that dogs typically like brushing their teeth?
No, it is quite a struggle to get to brush your dog's teeth, because you need a specific toothbrush and a toothpaste, which is recommended to brush it daily, but we know in today's busy lifestyle that everyone lives, it's quite hectic to brush it every day. So you can use pedigree dentist sticks on a daily occasion to give to them, and this will help to prevent any plaque buildup that they will have.
Yeah. And how often should one give their dogs dentist sticks?
So it should be given to them daily, as it is a daily oral care routine. And it's low in calories, so you don't have to worry that your fur baby is going to be getting any fatter with it.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you.
So when it comes to caring for your furry friend, make sure you're giving them the best in pet care, because as pet owners, keeping your dog healthy and happy is the least we can do.
It's time to make something oh so delicious and nutritious in the kitchen. Packed with nutritious benefits, Clover Sip Up is a delicious yogurt-based dairy drink that will keep you going throughout the day. Today, it's the hero ingredient in a quick and easy overnight oats recipe. So you can boost your mornings and get this recipe sent to you by SMSing the keyword Clover to 33650. Those SMSs will cost you $1.50 and no free SMSs apply. I think overnight oats has always been an interesting part of my personal journey, because I always find oats gives me heartburn, as overnight oats doesn't.
Really? Yep. I wonder if there's maybe something to do with the cooking process.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is. So that's why this ingredient over here, our hero, Sip Up, will help you sort all of that out.
Exactly. Tell me, what oats do you normally use?
I don't know, is there a difference in oats?
Yes, there is. Today we're using
flat oats.
Steel cut oats.
Oh.
You might be familiar with a flat one called rolled oats.
Yes.
Called rolled oats because?
It's been rolled.
It's just been rolled to give that flat shape. So here we go, into the bowl.
Mind blown.
Pick a flavor, any flavor.
Ooh, I get a choice now, guys. This is like telling somebody to choose between sort of strawberry and chocolate. I'm gonna go strawberry.
All right, you go with
add
strawberry.
a bit of fruit for my breakfast, make me feel healthy.
There we go. Okay, so into this we're gonna go with some chia seeds as well. You can open this for me.
Cool. Okay. Obviously, this is full of a whole bunch of nutritious stuff inside it already, right?
So you get it in a 250 gram and an 850 gram pack, which makes it convenient for breakfast, perfectly on the go. That's why I like prepping this a day ahead. Pop it into a jar, same thing. Okay?
We're just showing you how to do it in any case. You just have like 6 packs for days of these things in your house. Eat them for breakfast and lunch and throughout the day, whenever. Yeah. But then also try something interesting with them.
Exactly. So steel cut oats in here, chia seed. I've gone with some cinnamon. Cinnamon's always great for breakfast. You're gonna just give it a lacquer mix. You want to incorporate that cinnamon. Cinnamon's also great for breakfast and it enhances the flavor of the fruits that you got in there already.
That's so nice for winter, my word.
Yeah, totally. Once all the cinnamon is nicely mixed in there, get your favorite glass. Again, I said I like using a jar. Just seal it up in the morning, grab it, walk out the door, pour it in. And that chia seed helps it sit up really well.
I see, and the chia seed's almost going to swell in there as well as the oats itself. And it's going to suck up all of that delicious, nutritious flavor of the Sip Up.
Now, let's talk about our topping that we've got over here. So I haven't added any additional sugar to this, which is really great. There's a nice sweetness you get from the sip up and from our fruit we're going to use. And we're not going to add any sugar. We're going to create the illusion of sugar by adding vanilla seeds to the mix. So I've got some pawpaw and I've got some pineapple. You can either wait for your breakfast to set first, or you can actually pop them in there and let it sit inside.
Okay, so the fruit itself gets in there.
Every now and then you get a bit like, oh, what's that? Hey, look at that.
Surprise for breakfast.
And if you want to be really fancy, you go and get yourself a few edible flowers and you treat yourself.
No, man, Clem, you always try too hard.
You treat yourself. I mean, imagine flowers to yourself and you can just munch them as well.
So we always talk about doing self-care in the morning. This is a way to ensure that you look after your body and your mind at the same time when you eat breakfast. It's such a nutritious drink, and doing it like this, I think, is quite an interesting way to attempt it.
There you go. That's
Thanks,
for you.
Clem. I don't know if I can even fit this in my ear. Can I?
That's for you. There you go.
Does it fit?
Totally for you. Perfect. There we go.
Beautiful. Now, this is definitely a quick and easy recipe to whip up the night before. So remember to SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 at a cost of R1.50 to get this recipe sent to you and to keep you going.
Sip it up to live it up and sip up 6 amazing flavors. Sip up.
Made with love by Clover.
Now that I've got some flour in my teeth, coming up after the break, it's a live performance by KZN rapper ByLwantsa. Plus we meet Wafika Artimis Twisha, the talented young daughter of musician Moonchild Sanelli, who is about to launch her first EP at the age of, listen to this, 9 years old. Head over to our social media platforms. We want to know, do you, or is there anyone that you know in your life who's little and has got amazing talents? You can tweet us using that hashtag Afternoon Express, and our handle is Afternoon Chat, or you can go and comment on our Facebook page. We'll see you on the other side of this.
They're cute, they're cuddly, and they're TV stars. Baxter and Donut, the adorably fluffy four-legged members of the Afternoon Express family, are sharing their daily adventures on social media. To see what Baxter and Donut get up to behind the scenes, follow the adventures of Baxter and the adventures of Donut on Instagram.
Express yourself.
Sure. Graphic designer, lyricist, producer, artist. Okay, 1, 2, 1. Graphic designer, lyricist, producer. I'm reading the teleprompter. Oh, snap, man of many talents. She joins us now. Oh.
Well, welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3. It's the middle of the week and we promised you 3 live performances. Your first is coming right up. Graphic designer, lyricist, producer ByLwanstar is a man of many talents. He joins us now to perform his single, Funny How, live on Afternoon Express. And tell me if you can hear a little bit of Outcast in this.
Hey. Sweet. All right. Okay. Jay, you good? G? Right? B? You thought about it for a minute now. It's funny how what goes around will always come back around. And when it comes around, it always knocks you to the ground. And then it's got you wishing that you never made up. So, you thought about it for a minute now. It's funny how what goes around will always come back around. And when it comes around, it always knocks you to the ground. And then it's got you wishing that you never made a sound. You thought about it for a minute now. It's funny how what goes around will always come back around. And when it comes around, it always knocks you to the ground. And then it's got you wishing that you never made a... This is the This is the story of an emotional black male from Coxstead, born in a world designed to make blacks fail. But he was never the blackest of these boys, nor did he even really care if he was considered a cheese boy in a pro-black, pro-cultural closet society. Anxiety was all that was always crawling inside of me. Aside from that, if he didn't decide to rap, he'd probably find himself in the back of a van as another bloody stat. As the story goes, ByLwantsa was just a kid. ByLwantsa was just a kid before he came to Durban. Whenever these other kids are going out to a party, man, it's ByLwantsa who they said they were with. Yeah, I was that guy. I was even the token black guy. I was friends with everybody, yeah, and proud of man, I was that guy. But I had a few friends with whom that I could confide, but I could never share the stuff I was truly feeling inside. So I started losing my mind. It's like somebody inserted a bloody DVD of my life, proceeding to press rewind 1,000 times until it feels like all that I internalized had come to life. And for the first time, I finally started to realize I'm kind of broken. If I had spoken about it, maybe put it out in the open while it was happening, I wouldn't be choking. I wouldn't be joking 24/7 on some clown stuff. I came to Durban and thought I lost it, but man, I found it down. You thought about it for a minute now. It's funny how what goes around will always come back around. And when it comes around, it always knocks you to the ground. And then it's got you wishing that you never made a sound. You thought about it for a minute now. It's funny how what goes around will always come back around. And when it comes around, it always knocks you to the ground. And then it's got you wishing that you never made a. You think you got me where you want me, but you don't. They think they got me where they want me, but they don't. You think you got me where you want me, but you don't. You think you got me where you want me, but you really don't though. You thought about it for a minute now. It's funny how what goes around will always come back around. And when it comes around, it always knocks you to the ground. And then it's got you wishing that you never made a sound. You thought about it for a minute now. It's funny how what goes around will always come back around. And when it comes around, it always knocks you to the ground. And then it's got you wishing that you never made a.
Sup it up to live it up and sip up 6 amazing flavors. Sup up.
Made with love by Clover.
Man, what a performance. I'm pretty sure the streets of Twitter are going crazy. Don't forget to use the hashtag Afternoon Express. We've got such talent in our country, and it's really been such a while since South Africa has produced a child music star. Well, I have one for you. Wafika Twisha, known by her stage name as Artemis the Goddess, is a 9-year-old rapper and songwriter. She's about to release her first EP along with a music video. Following in the footsteps of her mother Moonchild, she is definitely one to keep an eye on. Welcome to Afternoon Express. Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
And stand up and do a twirl for me? Do a twirl for me. I want to see your whole outfit that you got on. Come on. Show us. There we go. And I think she deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. She looks amazing. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what is a 9-year-old doing producing music this good?
I've been inspired by my mother to sing and to inspire other children that it's not your last time. And
you're doing good. You're doing so good. Listen, obviously, for your first time on television as a 9-year-old and to perform like she's performing, she's doing an incredible job on the show today. So I must ask you about this Instagram post. I follow you on Instagram, and you've got some amazing posts out there. You're all confident and sassy, and you're telling all the bullies to, you know, disappear. Tell us about that story.
we were at Mall of Africa, and then there was a boy who tried to bully us. And then we said, it's our time now. And then we started saying, we're not scared of you. And then he said, you are too boring. I'm just going to go home.
Sure, just like that.
Yes.
And obviously you've become really, really confident. You're trying to teach young kids on your Instagram page to also stand up for themselves. Don't run to mommy and daddy, go and stand up.
Yes.
And you also had an experience once, you were telling me the story off the show, about being up on stage and getting so scared that you had to run off the stage. What happened there?
I was too scared. And it was my first time on stage. So I ran away and I came back and I did it. And then I realized it's not scary at all.
Because your sister said something, hey?
Yes.
She said, you're brave, you can do this. Yes. And you ended up back on the stage and performed for so many people. And from then on, the music has come out.
Yes.
And are you excited for your rest of your music career?
Yes.
Who do you want to collaborate with?
Uncle Java.
And mom?
My mom. No.
No. Why?
Because I want to collaborate with new people.
Oh, so mom is old.
Yeah.
I hope she's not watching the show right now because your mom will not agree with that. Well, Artemis, we are super, super proud of you. And like I said, I follow you on Instagram and I'm a bit of a stalker. Is that fine? Can I continue to like all your photos?
Yes.
Because I saw that you like blue lipstick. Do you want another blue lipstick? It's a gift from me to you. And I want to see you perform for all of South Africa at the end of the show. And we're really proud of your song that you've released and the EP.
Thank you.
Okay. At 9 years old, South Africa, I don't know how it's possible for somebody to have this much guts and gusto. And she designed some of her own clothes. Can you believe it? Artemis will be performing live at the end of the show. It's a performance not to be missed. And to all of our fans who are busy watching the show live on YouTube, it's really good to have you on the show with us today. So perhaps if you do need to rush away from the house somewhere, ensure that you continue the stream on our YouTube channel. We're Afternoon Express. After the break, we're back in the kitchen and Clem has the perfect dinner idea for winter. It's slow roasted short rib in a spicy tomato sauce. Does that sound good? Plus, South Africa's #1 B-boy Meaty shows us his skills later on in the show for that second performance. You don't want to miss it.
What the fridge? Shut the front door, Winter Home is back.
Yes, the 5th season of Winter Home is looking for contestant design duos.
And this year it's happening in the glorious Cape.
If you think you have what it takes to serve up some design razzle and dazzle
and have the eye for details,
then apply now to be one of the design duos, each decorating an apartment in Somerset West.
competing for the title of Best Design Duo and stand the chance of winning the cash prize worth
100,000 Rand!
Season 5 of Winter Home is looking for 3 design duos who will decorate 3 penthouse apartments on the Pontyflay Lifestyle Estate in Somerset West, developed by ByLwantsa Properties.
For details of how to apply, go to winnerhome.tv.
This is your opportunity to make a name for yourself in the South African interior design industry and make the stage yours.
Apply now to be a design contestant duo on winnerhome.tv.
Coming soon to SABC3. The stage is yours!
Oh man, you gotta love those two. Really, really you do. Make sure you get those entries in now. When it comes to winter dishes, we're back in the Afternoon Express kitchen, and there's nothing more comforting than a homey richness of Clem's hashtag for the love of winter, slow-cooked short rib and a spicy tomato sauce. You had to throw something spicy in there, right? Just saying, it must feel and obviously make us feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, and obviously the smells are glorious already. So I cannot wait to get cooking with you.
Sure, so this is really easy. Normally you see a whole lot of ingredients in front of me. Not today, but it's going to be maximum flavor. So in the pot already, I've got some leeks that I've cooked down. Then we're going with some short rib. Short rib is really great because it's on the bone, maximum flavor, and it's not expensive. The one trick is, it needs a lot of cooking.
Does
a
it?
lot of cooking. Okay.
It's almost like an oxtail-y kind of thing. You want to get as much of that meat to remove itself from the bone as possible.
You got it, exactly right. So into the pot that goes. We just turn the heat up again. And then I'm gonna, like you see it's browned off already. Very important, brown it off. It adds.
So you brown that in a separate pan or pot, right?
No, what I've done is I actually browned off my meat first, took it out, added my leeks into the same pot. That's what I did.
See, to keep all the flavor in
there. There we go,
nice.
in one pot. See, the actual reason is I don't want to do dishes. One pot, one pot.
Yeah.
Then we go. That's gonna start simmering off nice. You can smell everything already, like you said. Now let's go hit it with a little bit of chili. Can you split the chili for me?
I can.
While you're busy doing that.
Split the chili.
Just the chili for now. You can split it actually down the length, you know what I mean?
Oh, like
Here's
this.
a trick. If you chop the chili really fine, you get a lot of heat. Keeping it as whole as possible, less heat, more flavor. I'm using Rhodes quality Mexican-style tomatoes today, which has chili and onion in it already, but I want an extra bit of fire. And you know, what I love the most is the fact that I didn't have to whip out the tin opener. We always say, if you love it so much, put a ring on it.
Oh.
Okay, exactly. That's the convenience. Why are you laughing at me?
I've never heard that joke in the kitchen maybe before, ever.
All right. It's a thing. It's a thing. And they loved it so much they did. So this is the normal size can that I use for us. But what the viewers don't know is I actually cook the dish for the crew as well. That's when we bring out the big boys. All right? Look at that. So the crew right now, they're busy drooling on the floor.
You're going to joke, but I bought this over the weekend. In fact, the tomato paste and the tomato onion mix.
Lasted you the weekend?
Yep. Well, besides that, wasn't for me, unfortunately. It was actually for a good cause.
Okay.
It's okay.
I love that. I love that. What's really cool, add a bit of stock, a little bit of water to this, and that's going to go into the oven. Don't add too much liquid. Let it actually cook in the moisture that you get inside the can already.
I see.
Then,
by the way, if you guys want it, before you go into the next step, if you guys want this recipe and want to get all the details, you have to SMS the keyword Rhodes to 33650. It will cost you R1.15. Your free SMSs won't apply, but all the details will come to your device, and it's only going to survive for a certain period of time. So SMS now.
Right, so I want to make it quite Mexican. So I'm taking some Rhodes quality corn, and I shot in the pan a little bit of oil, and by charring, I mean, I say let it like pop a bit. It's going to pop, actually. Might even jump out the pan.
Don't worry if it browns a bit. It's a good flavor. You want that
nice
umami.
It brings out the sweetness and adds a bit of a savory vibe to it. Then to it, we're going to add we've got some chili.
More chili flakes.
And some paprika that's going in. Nice and smoky.
This is where the spiciness comes in. You know, we spoke about a spicy tomato sauce. There it is.
Then I've got some cumin and I've got some fennel as well. Look at that going in. Look at my TV sprinkle. Look at that. Missing the pan completely.
Making it rain.
Everywhere. There we go.
Rain.
That's going in there. That's going to add some really nice flavor.
The minute that hit the pan, I could smell it.
It really does. It's quite crazy how just those few spices with the corn, it transports you straight to Mexico. It smells pretty damn crazy.
That's what I was about to say. Where's my taco?
No, not today.
So you put a ring on the beautiful Rhodes quality.
Yeah.
So you're gonna taco it out. Taco it out on a date.
Don't worry, Dan, it's not your problem. Let me handle it, okay?
Good one,
All right,
good
cool.
one.
Then, red pepper going in. But talking about tacos, this would really work quite well as a topping on a taco.
I can imagine
a bit of mince in there, a bit of ground meat. That's a great recipe right there. Then, bit of sprinkle. They would use queso fresco. We don't have that yet, but the closest thing is a feta, like an
crumbly feta.
Yeah, but like a medium fat feta, that's in. Then, toss it all together, a little bit of coriander, and that's how quick it is done. The convenience of this dish is the fact that you put your dish in the oven, our beautiful short ribs, and 2 hours later, you're ready to eat, right? You don't have to worry about it. It comes up beautiful, succulent, just like that. Serve it with a guac, serve it with some tortillas, and that salsa. You wanted a taco? I'm gonna give you a taco.
Honestly, Rhodes Quality gave you a good sort of batch of ingredients to work with, but I never really expected something as delicious like that. And it's so versatile, you can play around with it, use it for so many different things in the house. And if you buy the big can, perhaps you can have lunch for a whole entire week. The Rhodes Quality hashtag for the Love of Winter competition is here, as I mentioned at the top of the show. And you stand a chance to win one of 6 5,000 Rand weekly prizes and a chance to be entered into that grand prize of 100,000 Rand. All you have to do is share a picture and a recipe of your Rhodes Quality winter dish using the hashtag for the Love of Winter, and you share those on the Rhodes Quality Facebook or perhaps on their Instagram pages as well. Entries are open until the 16th of August. It's going to be delicious. And then after that, celebrity chef Zola Nene will pick the 2 winning entries who will battle it out for the grand prize. Don't forget, those T's and C's do apply, and you can find those at rhodesquality.com.
Rhodes Quality, for the love of winter.
It's time to meet our next guest on Afternoon Express. Hailing from the Eerste in Cape Town, BBoy Meaty, otherwise known as Dimitri Nell, recently competed in a nationwide competition against 15 other great local talents to see who can take the title of the best breakdancer. BBoy Meaty came out on tops 2 years in a row and now goes on to represent South Africa in the World Final in Zurich in November. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you.
Feels like I've put you in an uncomfortable position sitting down. It's like not natural for you. Congrats on 2 years in a row, dude. What does this mean for a performer like yourself?
I guess, look, I mean, especially the thing that we're doing, breaking, it takes a lot of hard work, you know. It's years, it's not just months or 2 or 3 years down the line. It's like 10 years. And all of that work kind of molds over some time, you know, and I guess at that point in time, that's when you start reaping results, you know, and I guess now it's my turn, or I'm just in that stage of where my work is starting to perfect.
Exactly. What is the world of dance like at the moment in South Africa? Is b-boying something obviously very popular on the streets in South Africa, and everyone's really excited to go and celebrate their favorite local talents, but is the commercial media supportive enough of you guys?
I guess it's kind of on and off, you know. Look, breaking has been around for years. I mean, I've been introduced to it when it was 1999.
Sure.
I've been introduced to it.
Yeah.
So it's been quite around for a long time. But I guess there isn't enough coverage, you know, for this aspect of what we are doing. I guess people have this notion that breaking or b-boying is gangsterism or this type of things, you know, where in fact it's actually not that. It's actually a positive thing, you know, and it can help and grow an individual and reach tremendous heights too.
And dude, people spend years of their lives trying to get overseas to compete in international sort of sporting events, and you're going to go dance your way overseas in Zurich in November to represent your country. Does that leave you with a sense of pride? Do you think Madiba would be proud watching you go off and do this?
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm proud of myself too, you know. I guess, like you said, a lot of people strive to do that, but I mean, if you can do it through your talent or even your passion, then I guess, you know what, you're doing the right thing for yourself. Yeah. You know?
So tell me about the competition itself. What happens in Zurich, and like sort of what are your hopes for that #1 spot there?
So the BC one works like this. When I'm going there, there'll be, I think, 32 competitors or 34 of different countries. Out of that, they'll choose top 16. And that top 16, one of them is going to qualify for the World Finals. So there's already 15 chosen for the World Finals. So all of us is going to battle it out for that one spot just to be part of that 16 of the World Finals.
So you feel unbeatable. I'm going to challenge that on the show today. I brought in a contender for you. He says he'd like to challenge you with some b-boy. Are you up for it?
Okay.
He's waiting for you on the other side, so go take a look. Go head over that side. And obviously you guys get to be a big part of this conversation as well. What's very exciting is we've got a poll running on our Twitter page as well as on Facebook, but it's only going to run for a very short space of time. BBoy Meaty is going to be challenged on the show today on Afternoon Express, and I want you guys to go and vote on who you think did the better performance. You can find those polls on Facebook, Twitter. We're Afternoon Chat on Twitter, and then Afternoon Express on Facebook. B-Boys, take it away. I feel like I should give you guys fist bumps at the same time. Go and vote on Twitter and on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Who did the better B-Boy today on Afternoon Express, Facebook and Twitter? We love you. See you on the other side of the break.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Well, welcome back to Afternoon Express. You're live with us on SABC 3. And we promised you 3 performances. You've seen 2 thus far. That means only 1 is remaining. I see you've changed your lipstick, girl. That blue looks good on you. Should we do a handshake? She is the youngest performer we've ever had on Afternoon Express. At the age of only 9 years old, she's about to release her first EP. Here is Artemis the Goddess with Ngudla Ngudla.
Wanala
Wanala, guzang guza, awe babun, we babun, awe babun, we babun, awe babun, awe babun, we babun, awe babun.
Ladies and gents, my word. Guys, at 9 years old, I would not even want to talk to anybody, never mind on national television. She did such an incredible job at this move that she got down. I don't know how she got down and did all that kind of stuff. I can't even do that at my age, never mind at that age. She's fire. Guys, thanks so much for joining us on the show today. Your performance was great. I've asked everyone to go over to our Twitter page, Afternoon Express. Well, that's on Facebook, but also Afternoon Chat on Twitter, and to go and vote in our poll. We'd love to be able to hear from you on who you think our winners should be on Afternoon Express Day between the two of them. Do you guys have beef before? Have you battled each other before?
I'm a vegetarian, so no beef.
This was actually the finals at the competitions.
I see. Really? Was it?
Yes.
So why do you call yourself BBoy Meaty if you're a vegetarian? Or are you joking?
No, I'm serious. I guess, look, my name probably stems from, you know, when you're young and you play around, people don't want to say your full name.
Yeah.
I mean, my name is Dimitri.
Oh, I see.
But you always have friends that come around and say, nah, man, we'll leave the D out, man, we'll call you Meaty.
I know from childhood as well. My name is Danilo, and everyone used to never know my name, Dan D, and they used to put up other things with it. Like, my surname is Aquisto. They used to call me Dan Aquarium. I mean, like, really, the things people make up. Well, I can officially announce that on our Twitter poll, right, we went online to go and vote, and it was a 64-36 split.
Oh, wow.
Right? At 64%, ladies and gentlemen, BBoy Meaty! To be honest, BBoy Max, I think it's because we gave him an interview beforehand, so I think everyone kind of got a chance to know him.
The smile, you know?
It was the smile. Look at that, look at that, look at him.
It's a vegetarian thing, man.
Oh my goodness gracious, ladies and gents. Thanks so much to everybody who voted in this poll. I really appreciate all your thoughts. And there were so many tweets that were coming through as well today. Keep using that hashtag Afternoon Express. Literally our team spends night and day tracking all of your messages and comments, replying to each and every one of them. And I always love to see all the comments on the Facebook page, our Instagram page, as well as on Twitter. So keep them coming through. We'll always try and find them, especially using that hashtag Afternoon Express. So next year, this guy's going to be kicked off that podium. You can't win 3 years in a row.
Of course not.
Are you going to be training hard from now until then?
I'm training tomorrow morning.
He's in that gym. You're not going to try and like sabotage his flight?
Something like that. But I gave it away, so...
And just from your perspective, I never got to ask you before, the world of b-boying and dance in South Africa, I mean, are you positive about the direction it's going in?
Yes, I'm very positive about it. There's a lot of new talent coming through, so it's looking good, it's looking good. I mean, hip-hop is growing, so...
Yeah. So where do young kids start? Where do they get involved? How do they find that first taste of trying to learn to dance?
Well, there's a lot of studios, and of course you have YouTube, so there's like a lot of studios where they can start. There's a lot of people like teaching, like I also teach like in the streets, some streets I teach, so it's available for them to be there, you know.
Yeah. And final words before you depart to Zurich in November. For South Africa wants to support you, can they do that online?
Yes, I have a handle, Instagram handle, which is BBoy Meaty, Twitter handle, BBoy Meaty, and then Facebook, Dimitri now.
Lekker. And all those details obviously are on the screen, so if you guys do want to go and send him some love, please do. BBoy Meaty, find him on Instagram. Go and support these local talents taking over the world. I mean, he's going to Zurich in November to represent our very own country. And because we're celebrating Tata's centenary at the moment in South Africa, these are the young guys who are carrying his legacy through. And in fact, all of the guests we had on the show today have carried his legacy through and continue to be that legacy of Tata Madiba. So if you guys are looking for some inspiration, look no further than our guests on Afternoon Express today. Tomorrow is all about fashion as we bring you the designs of local design labels, Smadzaza. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. It's going to be full of fashion and beauty. So we'll see you then. Have a good night, South Africa, and happy eating, all right?
Second time now.
Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.